Okay, so there's an ingredient in this chocolate buttercream that has no business being there, but yet it's what makes it so fantastic. It is like the sweet version of umami. It literally makes this the best chocolate buttercream that people have ever had. And if that's not great enough, it is so light and fluffy that it practically floats off the cake. You are going to want this recipe. Let's make it. So buttercream, we need butter. I have 2.5 sticks of butter, which is 283 grams. And then this is softened, so it was just sat at room temperature for a couple hours, but geez Louise, this thing does not want to come off. But a shortcut I do is you could use the defrost setting in your microwave as well. Just make sure you don't melt the butter, you just want it nice and soft. Okay, and I'm just gonna mix that to combine to smooth it out before I add the rest of the ingredients. I always have unsalted butter on hand because I just like to control the amount of salt in my recipes. So I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt as well. If you're using salted butter, just omit that. Okay, for the cocoa powder, I have 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, which is 75 grams. Now, I'm using Dutch processed cocoa powder just to kind of give it a richer, darker taste, but you can also use natural cocoa powder as well. And honestly, a lot of times I just throw this in here, but what happens, cocoa powder has like little pebbles, like compressed cocoa powder together. So what happens when you mix it with the powdered sugar and the butter, it doesn't really get really incorporated. So if you sift it in, it just helps that those little like dark spots won't be in your buttercream. So it's just like a nice even coloring throughout. So I'm gonna throw this in here, hopefully get most of it in here, and then just sift it into my bowl. Next, I'm going to add my powdered sugar. I have 3 cups, which is 370 grams. And before I mix that up, I'm gonna just put this shield on so I don't get attacked with powdered sugar. All right, at this point, you're gonna be like, girl, that is not light and fluffy. It isn't. We haven't added any of the good stuff yet. The good stuff, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, and this needs to be cold. Where the butter was room temperature, this needs to be cold. And what this does is you're still gonna beat it with a paddle attachment. You don't need a whisk attachment like normally you would use for whipped cream, but it is going to expand and volumize and really make this the lightest, fluffiest buttercream frosting you've ever had. But there's a caveat, you have to beat it for like 5 to 6 minutes. You can't just mix it in. You have to beat it long enough to expand the volume of it, kind of like whipped cream. Now, the secret ingredient, molasses. You get this in like the pancake syrup aisle of your grocery store. And so molasses has this real dark, smoky flavor. We're only going to add a tablespoon of it. But if you're ever like way too sweeted out by frostings, this is the magic ticket for chocolate buttercream. It just kind of balances out the flavor, adds a little saltiness. It is so good. People will be like, won't be able to put their finger on it of what's in the frosting, but it just makes it taste amazing. Okay, so now we're just gonna mix this on low speed to combine everything. And then once everything's worked in, increase your speed to medium and beat it for about 5 to 6 minutes. Hey, real quick, if you have been stress Googling gluten-free recipes, I made these for you. They are your new kitchen best friend. No gluten-free drama for the whole family. We all just sit down and eat one meal with real, recognizable ingredients you could pick up at your local grocery store. Everything is simple, easy, and totally doable. Life is too short for bad gluten-free food. I have you covered. I have all the links in the description below. All right, you guys ready for this? Oh my gosh. Don't stop beating it until it's like a bowl of chocolate whipped cream. Look at that. So you can adjust the consistency of this if you want it a little runnier. I'd just be careful if you're doing like a layer cake, you don't want it too runny, but if you want to pipe it and have it a little runnier, you can add a little bit more heavy cream to it. If you need to stiffen it, you could add more powdered sugar. This recipe makes a lot. It makes enough to frost a 2-layer cake or 24 cupcakes like piped on. If you're doing a 9x13 sheet cake or you need smaller amount of frosting, just half all the ingredients. The other thing is you wanna keep this at room temperature. I know there's butter and there's heavy cream in it, but there is so much sugar in it that it acts as a preservative, so I have no issue keeping this out at room temperature for a day or so. It's best served when it's soft. If you put it in the fridge, it's butter, it's gonna re-solidify. So if you have to put it in the fridge, I let my cake sit out for a few hours before I serve it because you want it to get nice and soft again. The other thing is I have froze this frosting, but if I have some left over, I'll just put it in a Ziploc freezer bag and I'll freeze it. And then when you're ready to pipe again, then just set it out at room temperature to soften. I mean, I really wish you can jump through the camera. I'm gonna try this because I just have to. I mean, I'm sitting in front of a big bowl of frosting. Oh my gosh. I can't even describe the flavor. It's just like this like saltiness, like a salty chocolate, just rich and dark, and oh my gosh, I can literally sit here with a spoon and eat it. You have to try this recipe. It is the world's best chocolate frosting. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on a chocolate cake right now. I will link to that recipe as well below, but thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.